what happened with black people and brown people basically is pretty much bad leadership. That's all it is, really. Bad, whatever. Like I said, somebody worked very hard from about 1800 or 1812 on with some other people to do something very bad and very destructive. Realistically, they didn't care. They had had enough. They had all the women, they had all the drugs, they had all the everything or everything that they wanted, and lived it up good and hard, as they say. They lived a fast life, and they decided to, take it all down, as they say. Not just me, but everything and everyone. So they were very much a problem for a lot of different people. Irish, French, Mexican, American, possums, pigeons. There's a couple people that were a serious problem for everyone. And those people were grabbed and dealt with, like I say. I did it from 50 trillion years ago. I just didn't tell anyone until I was Brian, so I could mention it. There's a lot of things I mentioned, like how I'm the president or whatever. But that's long since gone and done with, leading people and everything else. It doesn't really matter at this point in time, like I say. Like I created 800 galaxies. Not trillion, but galaxies. And not that many, really. Maybe 3,000 at most, but that's mostly like the extended life form period afterwards. Like I say, when you create life, when you do genetics and stuff like that, you plop something down. It's like this e-cigarette, like I've said before. If this e-cigarette reproduces and then it reproduces and it reproduces, they go on and out. Anyway, black people especially, they decided to do unity together in the same bad direction. And they did. And that basically turned out to be a self-serving unity for someone that just didn't really care and was only interested in himself and what he could get and how much pain he could cause. That's exactly what they did, basically, to Irish, and, well, even themselves, even black, even brown, they tortured and killed and raped their own quite a bit too. And it's a lot worse back in time too, they just, survival of the fittest, alpha male stuff, so, whatever, Yeah, it's their choice, Like I say, no black person ever mined. No black person, well, they might have mined a little bit, but I doubt it. And no black person ever really invented anything or did anything, like, seriously, or even documented anything. Seriously, it's almost like they chose not to take part in existence at all. I looked and looked and looked and looked, and there's some stuff, some tribal mass, some little kind of mining, but mostly like they were enslaving Indians or something, It's pretty bad, like, it's, I don't know. They decided to group up and try and cheat existence or something. So, anyway, they placed all their eggs in one basket and went for it. It happened to be the wrong basket, Like I said, he really didn't care. It was bad leadership. He wasn't even trying to invent or lead. He just wanted to cause as much pain as he could and do whatever he wanted. And he did, to a very, very sick and disgusting extent, more than most. And he took his whole race with him. And the brown and black basically together, all of them, pretty much down to the point where they couldn't even speak a language. Anyway, it was their choice. Like I said, don't follow false leaders or false anything. You won't like what you get when you get there. So anyway, but I know how they're like black people pretending to be French people owning a French boatyard or stuff like that, and how they like sold off everything out of the Irish yard. And basically after they killed and tortured some poor Irish and Frenchmen, basically. And like I say, I built both yards. I financed both yards, so they're both mine anyway. They just killed them and tortured the managers of the yards, so it's pretty sad, really, considering they didn't even own it. But whatever. Anyway, it happened to be like my little play spot, my little toy spot, where I was just doing some messing around. The Belfast yard, I built the whole thing. We had to dredge the whole canal, basically. So it was a rather big project, and because I'm Lucifer, White Star, of 800 galaxies, I was able to do it just because it's epic and big, and creating one hell of a legacy for the Irish and the French, the real French, not those black people. Those are fake Frenchies. They were never French. They didn't come from French. They just kind of tried to become citizens, and mostly just spoke with a French accent. They didn't even know the language. You know, they had never known the language. One of them might have known the language, kind of, but probably not. Probably all fake. All they are is liars. So anyway, it was their choice. Like I say, it's freedom of will, and freedom of speech, and freedom of things. And their leader, or their god, or their king basically chose that way. So anyway, in that way, basically, you know, because pretty much he wanted to take me down. So, you know, it's a hell of a thing, really. I mean, taking down a creator of 800 galaxies and all that other stuff would be one hell of a tale, though. But unfortunately, they really didn't. I didn't even notice them, honestly. At least not for the longest time. And then I did kind of notice, and then I came looking, you know, and paid for stuff to be found out about them and stuff like that. And that's kind of how they found me, is because I was looking for them. So anyway, I was like, oh, so you're the people. So anyway, but yeah, I know. I knew. So anyway, I saw the war too. I mean, of course, kind of the creator of humanity and a couple 100 million trillion other life forms and particle matter too, and the sun. So, well, I know they're like, blah, 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 blah. But you know, it's just their thing, because they know they're going to get tortured anyway. It's like, by now, yeah. By now, even if I didn't torture them, somebody would. You know, and kill them, because, I mean, they were a problem. They attacked every town, every city, you know, along with those Yankees. So, a couple white people, a couple 100 or 1,000 white people, and a bunch of crazier black people, all believing the same old shit or something. I don't know who told them to do that, but, you know, whatever, you know, you choose who you follow, and they chose wrong. So, I don't really know. But anyway, yeah. So that's what's, you know, it's basically the Bloods and the Crips, and pretty much the Browns and the Blacks, and basically all of them. You know, there's not a shred of, you know, if they're being decent and honest, it's because they don't know. They haven't talked to their king yet. Anyway, though, but, you know, I mean, at some point in time from 50 trillion years ago, before there was anyone that could stop me, I came up and basically did a very pointed attack, you know, or gathering, you might say. A couple of different people. You know, and I was very careful about who, because, you know, the kinds of things I was going to do to them, I didn't just want to do to anyone. You know, I wanted to find someone that really truly deserved it, and, well, they deserved it, so I had a little talk. I had a very long, lengthy talk with them, and I found out a lot of different things. And they yelled at me and screamed at me and cursed at me and all this other kind of stuff. And then, you know, they went one way, and then I found out the data from what happened to them. So it's like I didn't actually do the test myself. You know, I just had it done. So anyway, another life form that was very dedicated and all that kind of stuff, and really didn't have any kind of compassion or feelings at all, did it all. So, you know, we found out how many times a person can go insane and regain their sanity, or if losing your sanity is even possible. I was kind of wondering, is it really possible to go insane? Or, you know, anyway, so we did it to them, found out, put them through the paces, you might say. And so, yeah, but that was from 50 trillion years ago. I mean, I always test out all my life forms to see how they do. You know, how they can take existence before I send them out there. And anyway, so I don't always do it to every life form. I just particularly chose to do it to those. So anyway, and then later on, you know, there's like 260 trillion people that added up, because I don't know, this one guy just decided to take them all down with him. So, you know, they went that way, and, you know, well, I don't know. It's long since done anyway. It's 50 trillion years ago. Too late. Nothing to do about it. Nothing that can be done about it. It already happened. So they just have to wait to find out, basically. I say, I don't know, you know. Not really answering to me. They're just, you know, oh well. I'm not really a bad person either. You know, it's just, these people really deserved it. And even the collective, even everybody else was like, yeah, go ahead. I was like, okay. I'm really, like, ambivalent about the whole thing, but, you know, whatever.